What up, gamers? It is Will 777JP back at it again with another one. And y'all, welcome back to my gaming recap of 2024. Now, I have made two previous videos in this little series. The first video was games beat in January 2024. The second video was just a few days ago, games beat between February through April 2024. And today's video is going to be May 2024. So get ready. I'm about to start the video, but before we do that, thank you so much to all you guys that are subscribed to my channel and watch the videos and hit like and all that stuff. Commenting, thank you so much. That means a lot to me, man. The channel is growing and it's all because of you. Once again, if you have any comments, suggestions, complaints, please put them down in the description below. I do pay attention. I have made some videos based on your recommendations, so let's keep that going, man. Thank you so much. And now, getting back to the video. So, a quick recap. In the first video, I went through the month of January. Or before I talk about that, in 2024, I beat 98 games. Yeah, that was a lot of games. But mind you, some games are just a couple hours long. Some games are longer than that. So in January of 2024, I played 10 games, or I beat 10 games. And those 10 games were Gears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Halo CE, the Master Chief Collection. So Halo Reach, Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4. So those were the 10 games. In February, I played Laika, Age Through Blood, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. In March, I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Ace Combat 7. April, Outcast: A New Beginning, Battlefield 4, Firewatch, Nier Automata, Wolfenstein Old Blood, Wolfenstein The New Order, and Wolfenstein New Colossus. And of course, I got the platinum for Helldivers in between there. So far, we are at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then I'm going to count Helldivers in there, even though I didn't count that as my total for the year. We're at 23. So without counting Helldivers, for the year, I'm at 98. Counting Helldivers, I'm at 99. And the reason I'm counting Helldivers is because I got the platinum for it. Or counting Helldivers for this video, but I did not count it as my overall, as the game that I beat. So, starting with May. So I got my notes here from last video, and then for this video, starting with May. Once again, I have PlayStation controller here because I do have some digital games, and I got Xbox controller because I got Xbox digital games. So the first game that I beat in May was May 5th, and it was Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade came out, I believe it was April. I forget the exact date, but April's when the game came out. And what can I say? Stellar Blade is a phenomenal game, great game. 45 hours on my first playthrough. It's actually a pretty lengthy game. Now, in this game, I think there's two difficulties, normal or easy and normal. But the great thing about this game is that there's multiple endings, so there's reasons to go back. But the thing that I loved about Stellar Blade the most was the combat. The combat is phenomenal. So in this game, I did absolutely every single side quest that I could. I tried to capture all the collectibles that I could, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and replay it, try to get a different ending. But I highly recommend this game. Awesome game from PlayStation, or Shift Up, PlayStation exclusive in the console side. But yeah, awesome game. And now they have the Nier Automata DLC that you can also get for $10, which I will be purchasing that, and then I'll be playing the game again. Generally, I play games about a year apart. So when I beat it, I usually play it again a year later, except for a couple instances where I played them 6 months later. It just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. But Stellar Blade, May 5th, 45 hours. Obviously, I started playing the game in April. I didn't finish it till May 5th. The next one is Rise, Son of Rome. I beat this game May 11th, and it took me 8 hours to beat. Now, Rise, Son of Rome, it was an Xbox One exclusive. I believe it was 2013, if I am guessing correct. Yes, 2013. The reason that this is sealed is because I played it on Game Pass. And this is my second time playing this game. It's not my first, and I really love this game. People say that it's simplistic, but I don't care. It's awesome, and I like that you're like a Roman legionnaire, and it's just cool. Graphics are great. The game holds up really, really well, even 11 years later. Highly recommend this game. And as you can tell, I like the game so much that I wanted a physical copy for myself. So that's what I went ahead and did. I forgot how much I paid for it, but it was cheap. It was like 10, 12 bucks. Highly recommend Rise, Son of Rome. Once again, May 11th. Took me 8 hours. The next game that I beat is Halo 5, also on May 11th. So from basically May 5th to May 11th, Rome or Rise, Son of Rome, and Halo 5 were the two games that I was playing. And it just happened that I beat both of them the same day. So basically I would play one for an hour or two and then switch to this, Halo 5 for an hour or two, and then continue it that way. Halo 5 was my least favorite game. Mainly because of story. You only play as Master Chief. I think it was for like 3 or 4 missions out of 11. And I really didn't like that. I want to be Master Chief. You know, that's what I want to be. But gameplay and the visuals are phenomenal in this game. The gameplay is really, really nice. The visuals are super, super nice and crisp. I don't like the enemy type that you fight in the game. I don't really like them. I don't like those machines. But, you know, it is what it is. And this is where you really start to see 343 influence, right? On Halo 4, you saw some of that, but they were still trying to do a little bit of what Bungie had going on. But this one, they said, fuck it, we're our own people. Even though we suck, we're going to do our own thing. But yeah, Halo 5, May 5th. And by the way, this is another game that I have beaten before. This is, I believe, the second or third time that I've beaten Halo 5. Third time. Because whenever I play games that have more than one game, like Halo, Gears, I like to play every single game the whole way through. Except for Halo 5. I beat it in May, and I beat all the other Halos in January. So I put this to the side, and I got to it because I wanted to play a shooter. And since I had just beaten those games, I was like, I don't want to, you know. Since I had just beaten them, I didn't want to start over again. So I just went ahead and beat this one. The next one is, or the last physical one out of the list, Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2, man. I got the deluxe edition, I think they call it, which came with a physical copy, which I appreciate, and also a steel case. But this was the second game that I beat. And this, or the second time that I beat it, also, I beat it co-op with my buddy, Nelson Gaming Culture. Dead Island 2, I beat May 17th, and it took me and Nelson 18 hours, which was about the same amount of time played that it took by myself. Now, I'm definitely going to go back and play this game because I want to get all the trophies and all the collectibles for Dead Island 2. But Dead Island 2 was a very fun game, man. It wasn't development hell for a long, long time. Switched developers a few times, and finally it came out. So a lot of people were very skeptical about the game, but the game came out phenomenal, and I recommend it, man. Dead Island 2 is a very, very fun game. The next one, which I already have up on the TV, let me move this thing upwards a little bit here so y'all can get a better view, is Hellblade 2. Well, excuse me. Let me fix the camera. Sorry about that. I had to fix the camera. So the next one that I beat was Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga, which I beat May 24th. It took me 8 hours to play. I played the first one on PlayStation. Obviously, Xbox had purchased the developer, and they made Hellblade an exclusive for Xbox. And what I will say about Hellblade is that I was extremely disappointed in the game. Extremely disappointed in the game. The very first Hellblade, I loved so much. I got the platinum in that game. I got a physical copy of it for the PlayStation 4, which is right here. I played it for the first time. I think it was in 2019 or 20. Whenever Hellblade 2 got announced on the Video Game Awards, it's when I went out and bought this. Because I didn't know anything about it, honestly. And this brought up my hype for Hellblade 2 to unspeakable levels. Unspeakable levels. And when it came out, I was disappointed, man. I mean, visually, the game is amazing. Amazing. I mean, one of the best looking games of 2024. But unfortunately, the combat took a step back. The story took a step back. I mean, I don't even have any words to explain just how terrible it was in comparison to the first one. And I know some people will say that it was a good game, but I just don't understand how you can say that when you have the first game as a reference point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't... Like the voices in her head, like all that just went down. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna move on, man. The next one is gonna be over on PlayStation. So let's go ahead and switch the TV to the PlayStation side of things. And by the way, all these games are on PlayStation except for Rise, Son of Rome, Halo, and Hellblade 2. So the next one I beat the day after I beat Hellblade 2 was Titanfall. I beat that game May 25th, and it took me 6 hours. Now, for Titanfall, I'm to the point where I beat this game in one sitting. In one sitting. So you can tell, PlayStation says I have 24 hours into it, but I love Titanfall. Titanfall, I think, is one of the best shooters of the previous generation. I am extremely sad that they're not coming out with a new Titanfall. But if you haven't played Titanfall, what are you doing? It does have a multiplayer component to it, which is still active. My son does play it every once in a while. But believe it or not, this game is also very emotional, especially at the end of the game. There's an ultimate sacrifice in it that shocks you, and it's just a great game. But more importantly, it's a great shooter, and that's why I love the game, because the gameplay is solid. You're jumping through the walls. You're like, it's the movement in this game is crazy, but also the story is much better than you would think. So yeah, I beat this game basically in a day, and it was just an awesome game, and I go back to it every single year. And you'll see that on my list, that almost every year you'll notice that there's like 10 games that I just replay over and over again. The next game is Indica. Indica, yes. Now this game surprised the hell out of me on how good it was. Well, I shouldn't say like how good it was, because I don't want to say like it's one of the best, it's like game of the year or anything like that. But it's a very interesting game, and it had different gameplay mechanics and even different genres, believe it or not. It was a very short game, but it took me 3 hours to beat it. But if you ever see this game on sale for like $10, jump on it, try it. Now, the game, you're basically a nun who goes through, like how we do in our everyday lives, or not, maybe not every day, but how a lot of people, see, like between good and evil, and am I doing the right things, and should I do it for faith, or should I do it for, the establishment? So there's a lot of big questions that this game asks that you as a player, you go through. So very cool game, indie game. I think this is one of the best indie games of last year, 2024. And then last but not least, in the month of May is throwback, Rage 2. Rage 2 is a game that is the first time I played. First time I played ever. I've never played Rage 1, never played Rage 2 before. I beat it May 31st, the very last day of the month, and it took me 51 hours to beat. Now, Rage 2 is an open world game, so some people may not like it because it is an open world game, but I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I thought the story was pretty good. I thought the combat was pretty good. It's a shooter, of course. It can be difficult at times. The one thing that pissed me off about this game was the very last mission. It glitched out, and I had to replay like 5 hours of it in order to be able to complete it. But that's the thing that pissed me off the most. Even though this game is, what, 6 years old now, it still has some buggy issues on there. But besides that, I had a good time with it. It's on sale all the time for just a few bucks. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are all the games that I beat in May of 2024. So that is, let's count here, 8 games. Stellar Blade, Rise Son of Rome, Halo 5, Dead Island 2, Hellblade 2, Titanfall 2, Indica, and Rage. Right, that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 8 games. So we are almost halfway through 2024. And so far we have 10 games beat in January, 12 games beat February through April, and 8 games beat in May. So our grand total is 18, 28, 29, 30, right? 10, 22. We have 30 games beat, and we are right at the halfway point of the year, 30. So that means I beat another 68 games from June through December. So stay tuned. I'll be posting another video probably in a few days with the month of June, which I'll probably do a video with just June in there, and we'll go over those games, and then you'll see, the fluctuation of games that I beat. Now, July is when I went on vacation for 2 weeks, so gaming got, I don't want to say limited, because I did get a lot of gaming in, because thankfully I own a Switch, I own a Steam Deck, and also the Airbnb that I stayed in Florida when I went to Disney on vacation had an Xbox One. So I was able to use or play Game Pass and play games, even though that's not where I beat games, but I was at least able to play some games, and you will hear about that in the video after next. So thank y'all so much, and I will catch you with the next one. Keep it gaming.